Good morning, people. And yes, that is the price of our diesel, 165. Things are not looking that good in the world. So you've just seen a time lapse of us getting Bertie out of the water. And also, I was doing a little bit of a repair. We'll get to that in a minute with the welder. So this boat's had a base plate put on it by the looks of things. The anodes are looking good on this side, on the starboard side. Got an awful lot of greenery around here at the back, and this boat is sitting quite deep in the water. I'm guessing that's because of the base plate. We've got some interesting bits that have been welded on here, just to protect this bit there and along there as well. I've not seen it done like that before, but it's obviously doing a good job. Got a lovely fat chine angle down here, and the sides, it's been done with 2-pack, and there is a little bit of pitting on it in a couple of spots, and that's what I was doing with the time lapse with the welder. It was these little areas here that got pits, so I'll put one up on screen of what they used to look like and what they look like now, all filled in. There was only 4 of them. So moving on, just an awful lot of greenery. Moving on to the front, and there's another one of those little pits that I welded. Again, we've got a nice fat chine angle here at the front. This boat's had quite a life by the looks of things. So anodes at the front, they're all good, no problems with those. Moving on to the port side, again, anodes are in good condition. And nice big fat chine angle. And again, another one of those little pits that I've welded up. This side's not quite as green as the other side. All these chalk markings here was some surveyor that we had here. So this boat was surveyed, probably for its insurance because of the age of it. And these were his findings. So that's why it's a bit out of sync. I had to weld these up before the surveyor left yesterday. And obviously I didn't have time to film it. I wanted him to do his bit and then me jump on it after he'd been there. It was all a bit fraught yesterday. So anyway, we've got some centre anodes on here, but this thing's been 2-packed and it doesn't live in a marina, and it's got no electrolysis going on whatsoever. In fact, the coating's pretty good. It's been shot blasted and it's just starting to fail on the water lining in places. And again, the chine angle at the back's pretty good, and again it's got this guard iron that's been put down the side here to prevent any rubbings on the welds, I'm guessing. Anodes at the back, yeah, they're in good condition. And underneath here, propeller, it's got a bearing in there somewhere, no play on that. And the rudder cup, yeah, that has got a bit of play, but there's plenty of meat to it. It's not like it's going to fail anytime soon. Plenty of meat round there. No nicks or chips out of the propeller at all. So Bertie, all in all, just going to need a bit of cleaning up. We're not going to 2-pack this boat. It's just going to be done with bitumen over the top of the 2-pack. I don't think there's any call for any anodes further down the sides because it's just not got any signs of electrolysis going on. So pretty much a nice easy one for Jane, really, isn't it? Good morning, people. Well, it's a bit of a change from the weather we've had over the last few days. I think it's going to be a wet one today. But that's what you get in April. So what are we up to today? Well, Tia, one of our hire boats, excuse the mess, it's been out on hire, and let's just say that people don't really clean up after themselves as they should. Needs a boat safety inspection has been done. So this is a bit much like a car, an MOT, and they're done every 4 years, just to make sure that everything's compliant on the boat. And also every year as a hire boat, we have to have a landlord certificate, which is to do with our gas appliances. On this boat, we only have a cooker, so it's pretty straightforward. There's no water heater or anything for central heating or anything like that. So nice and easy. So I have got a couple of little jobs to do, which are listed there, and I think I've accumulated everything here I need to put things right and make the examiner happy. Ventilation is the first thing. So boats have what's called low level ventilation, which is this here, and they have what's called high level ventilation, which is the mushrooms on the roof. And then at the front of the boat we have some more low level ventilation, and on that side as well, which comes into the boat here, but unfortunately this one's not labelled, so that's my first job, to get that labelled. This is what I would usually use. So it's a brass label that you would attach at the top there, but unfortunately, like I say, it's in brass, and all the bits in the front of this boat are chrome. So I've ordered one of these in chrome, which is basically brass that's been chromed, to put on this boat. But in the meantime, to keep the examiner happy, I've printed off myself a label. So let's just get that fitted. That should keep him happy. Next job, batteries. So he's not happy that these batteries can move around in their tray from side to side, and that's because when I originally built the boat I fitted 644s, which are a little bit bigger battery, and they were compliant, there was no problem, they couldn't move. But we've now gone to AGM batteries, and they're a little bit smaller in diameter and size, but actually a little bit more powerful. So we've got to secure those. So I've got myself some handy bits of wood. The reason why I don't want to make anything more permanent than this will do the job is that in the future batteries change size, so we don't want to weld anything in there or make the tray any smaller permanently, for fear of in the future the next set of batteries we put in there may well be a different size. Okay, so that's that all fitted, and now these batteries can't move at all. All firmly wedged in place. The bits of wood can't move, so again, that should keep him happy. Next job is the stove. Now this stove, I made this out of some bits of another old stove. I had a Premier and the Caser one, and basically I made this from scratch, but just by using the lids and the doors off of another stove. So the issue we've got here is that there's too much heat getting to this piece of wood on the back there. This was caused by me making the firebox inside here too big, so that won't come out. There's fire bricks inside here, and what I've done since this got too hot is I've made the firebox smaller. This got really hot. I mean, it was insane how hot such a small firebox could actually get. But a bit of trial and error. When you build something, you don't know what's going to happen. So like I say, I've put more fire bricks in there. It's also got a thermite, I think it's called, which is inside the fire, so it's double walled to actually insulate it from the outside. So right, let's get my creation screwed on. So that's that sorted. So behind here we have our isolation valves for the fuel system for the engine and the heating system at the front of the boat, and there isn't a label on there, so I need to do that. Another fix. On to the next job, and that's these fuel lines. Now I changed these last year for new ones, but unfortunately I didn't clip them up and they've been chafing on this piece of steel here. So let's get these, as we would call, armoured up. The last job, all sorted. Let's see what he has to say about that. So our little van Pugsley is off the road. It's something that if we get time to put into a video, we may well do it. Basically the rear beam has failed, it's got a hole in it, and it's all been removed. So I might come back to that at some point, but it's now for something completely different. We need these items to go and sort a little job out. Let's go and find a vehicle that's got 4 wheels on it. So we find ourselves at Hawkesbury Junction, and the trusty Range Rover has got me here. Just a short walk past the Greyhound pub. Doesn't appear to be anybody in the beer garden today. Good pub if you're up this way. Excellent food. Right, let's go and see what we've got to do. Discs. And they've got some super duper glue. So the plan is to glue in there. Right, the problem is a core plug has gone. I know people call them different things in different countries. I'll put a picture of one above. It's basically rusted through, probably through the lack of antifreeze inside the engine block. So what I'm going to do is I've made these little discs that you'll probably see on screen, and I'm going to use a sealant to stick them to the core plugs after I've cleaned them all out with a toothbrush. Then hopefully the owner of the vessel can get it back to my yard where we can change the core plugs, because unfortunately this job requires me to remove the gearbox, the flywheel, to gain access to them properly. That's the glue going on the first one, which is at the bottom and very awkward to get at. Now for the one at the top that's not quite so awkward to get at. So I shall wish him luck and hopefully see him back at base in the next few days. So Jane, finished all your work for the week?
No.
Oh dear. That's because I've booked something in for the weekend, but we're not going to talk about that because that's for another video.
And I've got more work on top of that.
I know.
So the weekend has got nothing to do with it.
So I understand you're on a bit of a diet there.
I am.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Good. So, definitely better than me. So we're down to just one cake again. And this is banana and ginger cake. So 2 forks, 1 cake. Does look pretty good though.
Where are we?
Oh, we are at Maltcombe Farm Shop.
At Rebecca's Kitchen.
Indeed. Enjoy. Good morning, people. And all of our boats are back in off of hire. And we're just waiting for the core plug job to get here so we can make a permanent repair on that one. So all we've got to do today now, at the moment, is get Bertie back in the water. Well, that was a nice easy one to do, but like I said, I have something planned for the weekend. Another video coming out very soon.